Hello and welcome to my next chess video here. This time I show you the game between Monarch 1.7 versus Houdini 4 x64B, and I let them play the tarrasch variation of the French defense with the move c5, and this arises after the moves e4, e6, the French defense, d4, d5, not the exchange French, but knight here, and now c5, and we got the move c3 by Monarch 1.7, the first move calculated. Now if c takes d4, then c takes d4, and knight here, probably knight there, this knight, or probably bishop b5 to pin the knight. We'll see. The other option is to play knight here immediately, and after, for example, knight here to defend the pawn, then bishop there, bishop here, pawn takes, bishop check, bishop there, bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, knight here, but then e5. Well, e5, you go here, attack the queen, bishop takes, pawn takes, attacking the knight, knight here attacking the pawn, and how to defend the pawn, that's the question. But you have kind of a tactical shot with knight takes here, and if queen takes, then you have this knight takes, this queen takes there, but then probably rook to d8, threatening the bishop. So maybe castling. Now knight here, queen takes, well, this is a double attack, so this is not possible. Yeah, but let's see what we get. Knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes, rook d8, castles, knight here, maybe sacrificing 2 pawns, but black gets 1 or 2 back of them. Check, check. If here, then it's not that great because of rook here, check, bishop has to block, and now maybe even rook takes, queen here, check, but this might only be a draw after all, so probably even this is possible for black. Attacking the queen might go here to attack the pawn, then king there, queen there, rook there, because it was rook takes was threatened. Okay, yeah, but we have something else. This would have been an interesting continuation. But we have the move c takes d4 immediately. And now c takes d4, probably knight c6 attacking the pawn. Knight here, defending. Knight f6, attacking the other pawn. e5, knight here, bishop there, f5, takes en passant, knight takes, and knight here, probably to prepare castling, castles, and now probably some bishop move, probably to here, but I want to show you something. Or to here, yeah. Let's see, white plays the move b6. Not a great move. The knight here is coming. If you try to kick the knight, then rook takes, and if you take the rook, then queen here threatens the pawn. If you take the knight, then this is checkmate. And if you go there, then there is knight takes here, attacking the queen. And if you take here, I don't know if this is leading to mate, but it's at least an interesting attack. So king g2 there. Let's see how to make progress. Probably e5 to open up this bishop. Now threatening to take here. So you cannot defend the pawn, though. Because then this pawn would hang. So I think this is kind of over. But now you could probably take the knight. And after e5 you could kick the queen maybe, so this might not work. But it's an interesting attempt. But we have moves here. We have the isolated d-pawn arriving. And now probably knight c6. This is also very interesting against the IQP. Black is playing against the IQP. Knight here attacking the pawn. Maybe bishop here pinning the knight. But then maybe this one. But then the bishop is coming to f4, threatening to jump in here with the knight. So probably not bishop here. Probably queen there. This is a double attack. Attacking the bishop and the knight. So either the knight defends the bishop, or you kind of have to take here. And play something like queen e2 to defend the knight. Then probably b6. Knight f3. Bishop here, preparing a battery here on this diagonal. But we have to move knight f6, which is also kind of possible. Knight f6, not knight c6, knight f6, attacking the knight. So now we could have the move bishop here, pinning the knight to the queen. Now bishop takes, now bishop e7, knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, queen takes, knight c3, knight f3, knight c6. Now bishop here, with the idea that black cannot take here because of the discovery, winning the queen. So bishop here, maybe castling by both sides. h4 doesn't work. Takes, king takes, knight here check, queen here, threatening mate. Then the queen has the square h6. So this might not work that good. Okay, queen here, also not a great move. Okay, we have to move knight back to c3 instead. Knight to c3. Now probably knight c6 or bishop b4, pinning the knight. But then maybe queen here check, knight here, and bishop there, followed by castling. Now you might have some discoveries here, for example. If you take there, then the bishop is hanging. If you take the bishop, then you can take back with the knight. So probably something like this is possible. But this looks kind of weird to me. Probably this is better for... yeah, this is much better for black, because the d-pawn is hanging. After this, you kind of have to do something about the d-pawn. And this is quite hard to defend now, the d-pawn. Yeah, you could play knight f3. Defends the d-pawn. But now takes. a3. There is no time to take the d-pawn with a knight. Although b4 could be a move here in that position. Queen takes, knight here, attacking the queen. And if queen takes there, then you have this fork. So b4, but you can just take with the bishop. So this doesn't work. And if you take, then white solidifies the center with with b takes. Okay, we have the move knight c6 instead of bishop b4. Knight c6. Okay, threatening the pawn. So probably knight f3 now. Now I will play the move bishop e7. Bishop d3. Castles. Castles. Although castles, yeah, okay, this, again, you cannot take. If you take, then knight takes, queen takes, and bishop b5 check, winning the queen. And after castles, you cannot take, because of the knight takes, queen takes, bishop h7 check, again winning the queen. So this might be possible. And now what to do with this problem piece? So maybe a3 followed by b5, but then a5, a4 to stop b5. Let's see how to develop the bishop. So pawn here, probably developing this way. Bishop f4. Bishop here. Can you push? Takes. Knight takes, knight takes. No, you cannot push. The knight is very nice controlled. The bishop has a good diagonal. But the rook can come here, but this rook can come there. Looks quite equal to me. White has more space. But black's position is also quite fine, so let's see what Houdini 4 comes up with here in the French tarrasch. I let them play without book, I have to say, but this is looks kind of normal to me. So we have to move knight c3, knight c6, knight f3, and bishop to e7. Bishop to d3 most probably. Castles, castles. Now a3, a5, b6. Bishop f4, bishop here. This all looks pretty normal to me. Okay, I will smoke a cigarette now while commentating this game. Yeah, we have to move bishop d3. By Monarch 1.7. Okay, also possible is, yeah, we have to move castles. Probably castles now by white, and we are in exactly the line I just provided. Oh, everything looks kind of normal to me. Let's see what we get there. Probably a6 followed by b6 won't be the move because this looks very weakening. Probably here bishop to d7. Now threatens to take this. No, it doesn't. So probably bishop f4 anyway. e5 and rook to c8. Oh, queen b3. Attacks b7, attacks b2 I mean. Well, after it takes b2, so queen here probably. Or queen there, no, queen here I will play. So that you have this discovery still. If knight takes, queen takes, then you still have this discovery. Okay, but we have to move b6, which looks kind of more normal. Castles, castles, b6. So we are nearly in the line I provided. Instead I was trying for b5. But okay, b5, a4, this is probably kind of weakening. So b6. Put the bishop on this very nice diagonal. And now probably bishop f4. At least I will play bishop f4. Looks kind of normal for both sides right now. The IQP is a little bit... Yeah, is it strength or a weakness? This is often a question. Okay, we don't have this. We have to move rook to e1. Still both engines are in developing mode and not in attacking mode. So now bishop b7. Most probably. And yeah, you still have time for this bishop f4 move. Rook to c8, rook to c1, probably something like this. And now probably h6, no, not h6, king h8 would be an interesting move to threaten the IQP, but then bishop to b1, trying to go queen here, threaten some mate in the future, so king h8 won't be the move, but bishop b7 I'm quite sure Houdini will play. Let's see, after all that I provided here, we are in the middle game. This is still the opening. Here bishop f4 probably. Now Rook c8 because bishop here, knight here does nothing. Bishop just goes back. Yeah, but then knight here. So probably instead of rook c8, bishop f4, knight here attacking the bishop moves back, and now knight here attacking the other bishop. Knight takes, bishop here. And what now? Probably bishop there. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, bishop goes back to c2, and now knight here. You cannot take the knight because of checkmate. But okay, queen here, maybe. Now black loses the knight. No, white loses the queen. Check. Queen takes queen. So probably queen here. But then still this knight check, pawn takes, and queen here. But then you have this bishop there. So this is close that something like this would work, but I don't think this works. So maybe now h4, h5 followed by h4. Yeah, we have this knight to b4 followed by h4. So h4 by white. If you allow this, for example, by playing a3. Okay, we have to move bishop here, but let's continue this. Then this kind of loses a whole bishop. After f3, now the bishop is trapped. So you cannot allow this. If you play h3, bishop pawn here, queen here, bishop here, takes. Now this could be slightly annoying after that move. Threatening mate, and how to defend this. Probably something like this, then takes. Bishop takes, knight here check. Looks better to me for black, so okay, wow, we have something. We have to move knight b4, bishop here, and queen takes f3. Okay, if queen takes, then there is this knight fork. So probably pawn takes. G takes f3, but G takes f3 really looks to me as if it's asking for trouble. Although you still have this bishop to defend here. Knight here, probably knight takes, bishop here, bishop there, bishop takes, queen takes. And now there I don't see a defense against knight here, and queen there or queen here check. So this looks kind of good for black here suddenly. Here we have to move g takes f3. And let's see both evaluations. I think Houdini went crazy here. No, it's minus 0.49. White has the bishop pair, but black has an open king. Okay, we have to move knight f to d5 now. Knight takes is what the Monarch is calculating, and now bishop here probably. Bishop there or h4 or h5 I mean. I will go for h5 here. h3, h4, bishop there, bishop here, bishop takes, queen takes, rook c8, queen there, queen there, queen there, and it kind of looks as though that white has had it, with something like this check to come and knight here to come. So probably king here, followed by rook there, and white can maybe survive this. So let's see what Houdini comes up with. We have knight takes. Let's see, Houdini is calculating queen takes d5. I won't go knight takes d5, but queen takes d5. Let's say a3. Knight has to go there. Takes, rook c8. Queen goes back here. I don't know, this might be too less material to actually win this. What can you do after knight here? You can take the bishop, followed by taking the pawn, and now you're up a pawn. So probably this doesn't work. So the bishop goes all the way back to f1. Now rook here, followed by rook there, but then you lose that pawn. So this you cannot do, so probably h3, but then you lose due to this fork. So yeah, this is quite annoying, so probably rook there. But this looks kind of asking for trouble. Bishop here. If bishop takes, then queen takes check. If bishop here, then the knight hobbles back, and now there is no defense against knight here. Well, there is. There is a defense. Queen here, knight here, but then this is attacking the rook. Okay, the rook goes there. Another rook infiltrates, attacking the b-pawn, so probably defending it. And now just doubling on the a-file, and this looks pretty hopeless. Or just knight to here, check, the bishop is pinned. Okay, we have knight takes, now queen takes, and now takes here, check, and taking the bishop, so this might be the easiest way to win this. But after all, we have knight takes d5 and bishop to g3. And now maybe h5, the move I was calculating before. H5, h3, h4, bishop there. Bishop here attacking the rook. Where is the rook going? Probably here, to avoid this check by the queen. Can you allow this check? That's the question. If you go here, then queen check, I don't know, it doesn't seem that dangerous. Okay, we don't have h5. We have to move bishop f6. Add some pressure to the d-pawn. Now the Monarch is calculating rook to e4. Let's see what implications this move has. And let's again see both evaluations. Houdini thinks it's better for black. The Monarch thinks it's better for white, and we have to move rook e4. Now knight to e7 is calculated by Houdini. Where's the knight heading to? Probably the knight heads towards this square. Yeah, we have to move knight e7. Probably some normal move. Now we are in the middle game. Rook c8. Knight here to attack this pawn, the IQP. And also the bishop. So probably now rook here to defend, but then this comes with a fork, so this you cannot allow. But how to defend the pawn? That's the question. Knight is coming to f5. Probably bishop there. But then takes, pawn takes, or rook takes. No, rook takes, then you lose the pawn. So pawn takes, queen here, check, rook there. It's close, but it's still not working. This rook e4 is a good move. So probably now h4, h5. But then white can get rid of the queens. And how is this endgame? It's probably... So you might as well have to do something with the queen. This looks even to me. So probably something else than knight f5. Probably queen here, attacking. So after rook c1 we have to move rook c1. Queen here, attacking the bishop, but then the bishop moves there. Then most probably queen here. Followed by what? But black has no problems here. Let's again see both evaluations. Okay. Queen d5 is calculated by Houdini, followed by bishop c4, queen h5, rook c3. Rook a8. Rook cd3. b6, b5. Oh yeah, the queen is defending the pawn. Bishop b3. And a6. Yeah, it looks quite interesting to me, this position. But let's see what the Monarch comes up with. The Monarch is... Now Houdini changed his mind to a6 immediately instead of queen to d5. Bring a6. Tired a little bit. Marco will arrive soon. Let's see if the game isn't finished till Marco is there, then okay, we are back to queen d5, and then he plays the move queen d5. Bishop c4, not queen here, queen h5, and bishop g3 e5 is what the Monarch is telling us. Probably bishop takes, rook takes, and knight here. But this now looks really grim for white. Because this pawn is threatened, there is this check threat. This pawn is weak somehow. But now probably bishop here. The knight is still pinned. f6. f6. Rook takes here. Knight there, attacking this pawn. So probably here. Then knight here check. Knight here check. Queen there, knight here check. Don't want to go into this discovery. Rook here, rook takes, threatening queen here, checkmate. And you cannot really prevent this. If you go here, then there is this check coming. Then you have to go there. Because if you go there, then it's checkmate or right around the corner. Here, checkmate. But if you go here, it's not better, because this is checkmate. So you kind of have to be careful of bishop g5 here. Bishop g5, rook takes knight here. But then bishop there, takes, knight here. Okay, you kinda can't do that. Attacking the rook goes here. Rook takes. Now token move. Queen here check. Queen here check. Now the king has to go on the d file, and now you can make this check anyway, because the king is pinned now. So king here only move, and now rook takes bishop, so you cannot go for a3. This is threatened, so you might as well go here. But then queen takes, rook takes, and the bishop is hanging, so you cannot go there either. We have this bishop e5. Let's see what the Monarch will do here. Bishop e5, bishop takes, rook takes, queen g6 check. It's also an option, but I will go for knight f5. This looks more appealing to me. But queen g6 check, what Houdini is calculating, is also kind of good. Let's say king h8. Then maybe f6. No, then bishop takes or rook takes, it doesn't really matter. This will come with check. Then knight f5. But I don't see attack after that move. Queen takes, rook takes. Well, you at least win a pawn here, threatening a fork. So let's see. We have this rook takes. Let's see if Houdini goes for queen g6, king h8, queen f6. Is he calculating? Okay, threatening maybe that pawn at some point, so the queen is immobilized. See if Houdini has enough steam for the attack. Queen g6, king h1, queen f6, rook c3, rook a d8. Okay. Very interesting game, very interesting French defense game. Let's see how long this video now is. 41 minutes. See, Mark is still not there. I see that it is better for black, but I don't see that it's that much better for black. Houdini nearly thinks it's winning for black, so it probably is, because Houdini is a very strong engine. But no, of course not rook a5, you just take it. So rook c3 probably, rook a d8, and rook here. Now everything is kind of defended. Knight here attacking the rook. The rook moves there. Knight here attacking this rook. Rook there. Queen there, threatening checkmate. Queen here. It seems that white can defend this. I don't see a problem there. We have to move queen f6. Now it's Monarch's turn to find something. Monarch is calculating bishop to d3. Queen g6 we have. Queen f6, and now bishop to d3 most probably. But now the knight comes in that way to here. Let's say the rook comes to the second. The knight here. Attacks the bishop, so let's say the bishop moves there, attacking the rook. No, queen here doesn't work, you just take it. Can you sacrifice the rook somehow? I don't see it, but you can exchange it. Go for this kind of move. Then, but first it's white's move. Okay, we have to move rook a d8 instead of that. Rook a d8, bishop d3, Rook a d8 we have. Threatening the pawn. This is a threat. Taking there, bishop takes h7, king takes h7, queen takes here. Queen takes there, check. Let's see. Rook takes, bishop takes. King takes, queen takes. Queen takes, check. No rook here maybe. Queen takes rook. Queen check. I don't see this working either. But okay, we have this rook coming in there to defend. Now rook d6 probably to double on the d file. And now what? Now what? Rook c7 is what the monarch is calculating. Trying to attack the knight. I put some pressure to the knight. Could have done this also one move earlier. Queen e2 now. It's the top move, queen e2. Let's say rook there. Queen here most probably. Then b4, b5 takes. No, you cannot take. The bishop is en prise. Where to move the bishop? Probably to here. But then the knight is coming in, attacking the queen. Rook takes, pawn takes. No, there is nothing, so you kind of have to go back. Also possible is after this that to maybe sacrifice the exchange there. Check, check. But then there is rook here, or even queen here, so you kind of cannot do this. Also bishop there. I don't know. We have the doubling. We have queen e2 and doubling on the d file. Queen e3 now to defend the pawn. And on knight c6 to add more pressure. Yeah, the IQP will fall. The IQP will fall, I guess. And then the game is lost for Monarch 1.7. Let's see both evaluations. Minus 2.32 and minus 0.31. So also the Monarch kind of feels the danger, kind of. Okay, we have the move rook e3. Now knight d5 and knight c6. Knight d5 looks kind of good. Attacking the queen. Where does the queen go? Probably to here. And then queen takes, rook takes, knight here again on the IQP. And you cannot defend the IQP anymore. So what else to do? Probably queen there, but then knight here. But this kind of backfires due to that check. I don't know. Even this looks kind of... So where can the queen go? Can go there. Only move to go there. But then maybe this move. To try and go rook c8. Okay, we don't have this pawn sacrifice. We have to move g6. Stopping all that, making some Luft for the king. And now what to play for the Monarch. a4 has been calculated by both engines. Then knight back to e7, but this I don't understand then. Why to put the knight on d5 and put it back on e7? I will put the knight on f5. a4 stops b5. Okay, I see that. a4 stops b5. The knight here. Maybe b4. Rook there. Or maybe even... I don't know, rook there. Takes, queen here. Takes, queen takes. Okay, it's threatening to take here. You have to take back with the pawn. And then queen here threatens mate, so the bishop has to go back. And then the rook goes there. So let's show this. b4, rook takes. If you take with the queen, then queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes here. Okay. So, and this rook endgame should be even Steven. But if you take with the pawn, then it could be messed up. Here threatening mate. Only move is this one, and then this. Kind of have to defend the bishop, but then still takes, and queen here mate. So yeah, but you can take with the queen. Queen takes e5. Queen takes e5. Pawn takes e5. Okay, no, you can't, because knight takes, and now you're a clear piece up. Also after pawn takes, if you go queen g5, then you can just take it. Takes, and now we are in this endgame, which is equal. So this is not what you wanna do. Knight d5 back to e7. Where is this knight heading to? f4 we have on the board. Knight here. Okay, now this pawn is on the threat. And you kind of cannot defend it anymore. So a5 is what's been calculated, but then rook takes, queen here check, king here, pawn takes. No, the bishop is on the threat. So bishop takes knight, pawn takes knight, pawn takes. Pawn takes, or rook takes pawn, threatening this, but then just push it, the pawn. Okay, we don't have this. We have a couple of moves actually. We have the move knight here, a5, takes, rook here, rook there, knight here. Wow, what? Takes, knight takes, rook takes with check, and bishop takes there. No. Queen takes rook, of course. Queen takes rook, and now we have this imbalance. A shattered pawn structure from white. And queen takes a5, so it should be over. It should be over. You have this check, and that move -3 and -1.6, so it should be over. Yeah, black won. Very nice French defense, I have to say. So f5. Wait, what? Okay, this move. f5. Queen goes. Bishop here. Queen goes in. Okay, now it's pretty fast. King there, I would go, or king f6, also possible. But then you can take either pawn. Rook takes a7 or rook takes h7. Let's go with rook takes h7. This is what the Monarch is calculating. Then queen here, check. King there. Queen here, check. King there. Okay, why not take the pawn immediately? Okay, we have this, that. And now we have this check, followed by that check, followed by taking off this pawn, defending the a pawn. Yeah, this should be over. There's no way white can save this. Let's see both evaluation, -5.52 and -2.9. Okay, the Monarch is calculating now. Rook b7, king g2. But then just a5, and this pawn is marching. So any move, for example, bishop here, a5, bishop there, this move, rook here, check, king there, pawn takes, queen takes. I don't know, rook there. Oh, it's black's, it's check. So king there, check, check, and checkmate. Not this mate, but this checkmate. So we have a move here. We have to move this one. a5, this one. a4, that one, that one. Rook. No. Yeah, well, anyway, it's over. Black gets another queen and it's over. So let's see if white finally resigns. It's -9.15 and -9.73. So both engines thinks it's lost. So let's put away the analysis board. And let's see this. Okay, now the Monarch resigned. And let's see the game again in the recap. This was the opening I gave them. This was the opening I gave them. Now c3, takes. Oh, bishop b4, check is kind of one of the main moves here. Knight here, knight here, knight c6. but this is also possible to play like that. Very nice game by Houdini. And let's see what was the opening called. I think tarrasch Variation, verbesserte Tarrasch-Verteidigung. Okay. So, thanks for watching and see you next time. Here, White resigned. So, ciao!